Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know this is early for a YouTube video, but I have a lot to do today. I'm packing up today for my trip because tomorrow we leave for Vancouver, which means we'll be getting up really early tomorrow. And I have a lot of stuff to do around the house today, so I figured, you know what, let's get this YouTube video done before my notifications go off with all my chores telling me what I have to do. Ignore my father. Just ignore him. Anyways, the first one we're reacting to is called True Resort Horror Story. So, let's go. Let's see what happens.
We'll call Maria. And I hung out at this resort.
There
we each had our own hotel room that we shared together. One night, when we were 11 years old, Maria suggested that we go ghost hunting. I didn't have a great feeling about it, so I said, I don't really think we should go. Let's just stay inside and play games. But Maria insisted, saying, Oh, come on, it'll be fun. I'll play with you every day this summer if you go with me. Stupidly, I agreed. And we put our clothes,
why would you agree to that?
Flashlights and all that stuff. We went to the convenience shop in the resort to get a few sodas, and then that's when I saw her.
So who?
Behind the register stood the most terrifying woman I had ever seen. My face went pale, and then she disappeared. As we were walking out, Maria noticed my pale face and asked, why? I told her everything, expecting her to be concerned. But to my surprise,
She was excited.
she seemed happy.
Nah.
At that moment, I thought, what's wrong with this idiot? Nevertheless, she dragged me to the lobby to investigate. While I sat in the seat, already traumatized by the incident in the convenience store. As I was getting my phone from my purse, I noticed a red stain on my sundress.
What?
I thought it was ketchup from the buffet we had, so I shook it off. A few minutes later, I heard the most blood-curdling scream coming from the elevator. I don't think anyone else heard it since there was no one else around, and the night shift employee was fast asleep. It sounded like it was coming from the elevator hall. Curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to check it out.
Oh
The
no,
screaming grew
don't.
louder and louder, causing my eardrum.
Okay, if that was happening and hang on a second. If that was happening and there was no one there, I'd literally get myself the heck out of there. I'm just saying.
To feel like they were bleeding. I opened one of the doors and found a musty-looking man in his 40s, holding a knife to Maria's throat. In a panic, he grabbed me and whispered, I have a thing for Japanese girls. I'm actually Korean, but that didn't matter. I bit him and kicked his crotch, freeing Maria from his grip. We quickly ran back to our room and called the resort security. Thankfully, the man was arrested, but we were left absolutely traumatized. I'm now 13, and I still wonder what would have happened if I hadn't heard Maria or found the right elevator.
That can be traumatizing, you know? I mean, be careful. Like, even if you go out in public, you always should be careful. And try to stay safe. Even if you're on a trip or at a hotel, you never know what could happen. So, best advice is stay safe. Like, stay safe and be careful. That's my best advice. And never go investigating. Good, right here we go. That next one is my mom wants my stalker to be my boyfriend. What the heck? Why would your mom want your stalker to be your boyfriend? Guess we'll find out. Okay, let's go.
My name is Jelly, and I have a stalking story. When I was in high school, there was a lot of boys in my school who courted me, but I rejected all of them because they didn't pass my vibe. Then there was this guy named John. He studied at the other school, not my school, and he courted me. At first, I wondered how he knew me. Then I found out that his cousin Carlo was my classmate when I was in elementary school. So basically, his cousin Carlo was the bridge between me and John. Everything seemed fine. John's nice, so I thought I should answer him. Then days passed, and John stopped messaging me. I thought maybe he was busy. And then months passed. I still got no response from John. And his cousin Carlo was the one who kept messaging me all the time. At first, it was just a friendly conversation, but day by day, the conversation started to level up to the point where he asked me if he can court me. So I was shocked, because he's the one who forced his cousin John to me, and now he wants to court me? Then I saw on Facebook that John posted a picture of him and a girl. I was brokenhearted because I already loved him. When I was brokenhearted, John's cousin Carlo comforted me. I am really open to my mom, so I told her that this guy named Carlo was courting me. My mom told me if he's nice and if he loves me, then why don't you give it a try? What I didn't know is that Carlo was texting my mom about me. Days passed. My mom kept forcing me to Carlo, but I didn't like him. My mom even got angry with me because I didn't want Carlo to be my boyfriend. I was so angry and sad at the same time because my mom was taking his side instead of me, her daughter.
Wow.
I asked my mom why she liked Carlo so much. It's her first time forcing someone for me. My mom said because Carlo was my classmate in elementary school and he's smart. It's true. Carlo is a genius. That's why he always wears glasses, but he is really weird. Every night I end up crying because my mom always asks me when I will answer Carlo. To avoid the situation, I started to date someone without telling my mom. Wherever I went, I felt like someone was stalking me.
Oh, no.
When I got home from school, I saw my mom sitting on the couch with an angry expression on her face. She asked me, "You're dating someone?" I was shocked. How did she know that? I denied it, and she said if she caught me dating someone who's not Carlo, she'll move me to another school. I cried and ran to my room. I didn't understand why my mom wanted Carlo to be my boyfriend. She knew I didn't like him. We decided to move to another boarding house in my school because my
Trusting
younger
God
brother
with
is
all
now
your
in high
heart,
school,
soul.
which means he was now in my school. I woke up early because we had an exam. When I got out from the boarding house, I saw someone standing across the road staring at me. Then I realized it was Carlo. I hurriedly walked to school because I didn't want to interact with him. One day, my friends and I planned to hang out at night with our boyfriends. I knew my mom wouldn't let me, so I lied. I told her that only me and my friends Vicky and Carrie would be there, and she believed it, so she let me. I got home that night at 10 p.m. I saw my mom sitting on the couch with an angry expression on her face. I was curious because I asked for her permission first before I went to hang out, and she stood up and yelled, "You went on a date, huh?" I was shocked because how did she know? I denied it, but she said that someone saw me and my friends with our boyfriends on the Esplanade. Esplanade is a jogging area. She grounded me for a week. She stormed out of the living room and headed to her room. I saw her phone on the coffee table and I saw someone texted her, so I grabbed her phone and opened it since there's no lock. When I saw the person who texted her, I got so angry. It was Carlo. So that means he was stalking me and reported everything I was doing to my mom. Every morning I always saw him standing across the road from my boarding house, covering his mouth with a handkerchief. Every time I saw him, I felt like I wanted to cry. I was so scared and I didn't know what to do. Only my friends understood me. They told me to stay away from him. We had an upcoming program at school that was being held at the public soccer field. We were practicing.
I just think it's ridiculous that this mom won't defend her daughter. Like, I'm just saying, and like, I know I've been silent this entire time, but that's because this is just plain messed up. Like, what kind of mom doesn't defend her daughter and forces her to date her stalker? Like, my mom wouldn't make me do that. My mom would probably, like, and I know my mom well enough to know that she wouldn't force me to date my stalker. What my mom would do was she would help me get rid of the guy. So this girl's mom is just messed up.
It's just I was really focused because I love dancing. Then I saw Carlo in the waiting shed staring at me while covering his mouth with a handkerchief. I don't know why he covered his mouth with a handkerchief. I felt really uncomfortable. During our school program, I saw him in the waiting shed staring at me, but I just ignored him. After graduating high school, my mom suggested to move me to another school for better education. It was my first day in university, and I was feeling excited and nervous at the same time. On the first day of school, I already made friends, because, I'm kind of friendly. It was fun introducing ourselves and meeting new people.
Okay.
After our teacher dismissed the class, I was about to go out of the classroom when my heart sank. I saw Carlo walking in the hallway. He saw me, but I turned my back to him and waited for my friend to finish packing her modules in her bag. Before I walked out of the classroom, I checked my right side and my left side to see if he was there. There was no sign of him, so I grabbed my friend's arm and hurriedly walked to the school's gate. We said goodbye to each other and I hurriedly ran to ride the jeepney. While I was inside of the jeepney, I felt like I wanted to scream. How did he know that I moved schools? Did my mom tell him? I felt like I was going crazy. Now he was in the same school with me, and he was going to stalk me every chance he gets. When I got home, I told my mom that I saw Carlo in school. I blamed everything on my mom. My mom said she lost contact with Carlo. She said she would never tell Carlo about my new school, but I didn't listen to her. I kept yelling at her. We argued for a while and I'd had enough, so I ran to my room and cried. I saw Carlo every day in school and kept ignoring him. It became too much and I was so done with him and I couldn't live like that. So what I did is I made more friends because I'm friendly and they can accompany me wherever I went. Like I asked them to go with me to the restroom. I surrounded myself with friends to forget him. And you know what? It actually worked. He's now scared to come near me because I have a lot of friends that surround me, and my friends are all well-known students in school because of their talents. They've asked me to join this and that activity, and of course I've agreed. And now that I know a lot of people in my school and a lot of people know me, I am not afraid to be alone anymore. And Carlo, he distances himself from me now.
That's good. Like, that is just messed up. The fact that this mom would force her daughter to date her stalker, that's just completely messed up. That is just so messed up. And, you know, it's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. Like, why would you force your daughter to do that? I'm surprised she didn't call the police. Like, honestly, if you have a stalker, you get the police involved. Hey guys, so the last one's called Flora's Grudge, and I checked, for those who are like me that like these parody shows, I checked, I haven't reacted to this one yet, so let's go.
Town, giving people rides from the yards to the station. Many years ago, Flora used to work on the old Sodor tramway that was situated at Vickerstown, taking passengers around the area.
Okay.
But when more and more people began traveling by car, bus, and lorry, the tramway was closed down and Flora was withdrawn from service. Thankfully, the museum saved her, but Flora has held on to a deep resentment towards any vehicle that runs on roads.
Poor Flora. Okay, we're gonna skip the intro because I don't want to get in trouble for copyright claim.
One morning, the track at Vickerstown was being worked on, so people who were heading to the museum had to take the car or travel by bus. Bertie the bus was taking a group of visitors who had come to see the island of Sodor. Today, they were also heading to the railway museum. The drive to Vickerstown was long and they were in need of some petrol along the way.
Poor Birdie. Donna.
"We'll stop here for a minute to refill Bertie," said his driver to the visitors. But the visitors were getting agitated. "Oh, come on, we've been in this bus for hours. We're closer to the museum than you think. Look at the queue," they said. "Oh, driver, please, I'm thirsty." "Well, I'm sure there'll be a petrol station at Vickerstown too, Bertie. I think we can manage a few more miles." Bertie sighed and he rolled away.
They won't be able to manage a few more miles.
At the railway museum, the manager came to see the engines. "We've got some special visitors here today." "Oh, don't we have them every day?" yawned Caden. "As I said, we have some special visitors today. They come from the Railway Society on the mainland, and they'll be seeing you." Flora was pleased. "Ooh, visitors from the Railway Society. How exciting," she said. "When is their train due?" "Well, Flora, they won't be coming by train today." "What?" Then how else are they going to get here, sir? They'll be coming on Bertie the bus. Our regular visitors will be coming by car and other buses as well today, since track work is being done near the station. Flora was shocked. Cars? Buses? She fumed. Jim was worried. Easy, Flora, he soothed. I know what it's like holding a grudge, but you should be letting it go. It's not good for you. I can be angry as much as I want to be, Jim. Roll vehicles. They disgust me. Now, Flora, I understand why you're upset, but you can't have that attitude with our visitors. You need to work on that before they get here. Soon Bertie arrived, still feeling thirsty. He stopped at the car park and the passengers were let off. Then his driver got out to stretch his legs. Will we be able to get to a petrol station soon, driver? We will. I just need to give my legs a good stretch and a break from driving. Okay, sir, replied Bertie, and he yawned. Well, a good snooze might be good for me after this long drive. Bertie shut his eyes.
Oh,
More visitors came by car, and more buses arrived to drop off their passengers. Meanwhile, Flora looked on, seething with
Flora,
rage.
please don't do this.
Cars, buses, lorries. What is the world coming to? Why couldn't they come on a train? You heard what the manager said, Flora. Track work.
Trooper, come
I
here.
know that.
Come
We've got
here.
trains coming down here to drop off the passengers. But we haven't got a platform suitable for passenger trains, Flora, replied Neil. You just have to put up with it. Flora just snarled. With the line at Vickerstown being worked upon, Flora's job for the day was to take the passengers up and down the museum yard. But Flora had an idea. Passengers who haven't been in any rail vehicles are allowed in, she declared. The passengers, as well as members of the Railway Society, were shocked.
No,
But we came by
Flora.
car, said one. Oh, well, sighed Flora. No ride for you today. This isn't fair, replied another. We come all the way from Tipness to see the museum and ride on you, and you're telling us we can't because we came by road? Exactly, replied Flora slyly. Guess I can't travel for you today. The passengers, along with the Railway Society members, were very annoyed, and they began to speak to the manager. Meanwhile, Bertie's driver returned from the car park. Bertie saw the commotion and was wondering what was happening. Oh, this tram engine in Flora has a problem with road vehicles. A problem with road vehicles? That's just sad. What has she got against me? Search me. But let's try and get you filled up. This made Bertie smile. But as the driver went over the crossing, there was a problem. Bertie was slowing down, and then he stopped. The driver tried turning on his engine again, but nothing happened. Then he saw the fuel light on, and the fuel gauge had empty. Oh, bother, he said. You're out of petrol. Oh, I'm so sorry, Bertie. I should have filled you up from where we were previously. Oh, it's all right, driver. But next time, try not to cave in. Bertie's driver smiled, and then he went off to tell the manager about Bertie. Meanwhile, Flora saw him, and she began to smirk. Actually, I'm sorry for being so rude. Please hop on board and have a pleasant ride. The passengers were delighted, but they didn't know about what had happened to Bertie. Once they were on board, Flora puffed away.
At least Flora's now realizing her mistake.
Just then, Bertie's driver came towards the manager and told him about Bertie. Okay, where is he? We could try to move him off the tracks. Bertie's driver was about to show him where Bertie was, but then to his horror he saw that Flora was heading straight for him.
Huh? Yeah, it's your turn
Bertie
anyway.
saw her too and he was shocked. Stop! Stop! He yelled.
Oh, no.
But Flora just smirked, knowing what was coming next. Her driver saw him up ahead, and she applied the brakes. This is for all the pain your car has caused me, she shouted.
Oh, no, I
Bertie
can't
shut his
look.
eyes, waiting for the impact.
It started with, if you have
Oh,
cats...
brother, give me a minute, guys.
He shut
Okay,
his
here we go,
eyes,
I can't
waiting for
look.
the impact. But then she stopped, only bumping into him lightly. Bertie was relieved, but Flora was upset. Why did you stop me? She complained to her driver. Why? We're about to crash into Bertie, that's why, replied her driver crossly. And you knew you were going to crash into me, added Bertie crossly. Just what is your problem with me and road vehicles in general? You've ruined my life. I was once the means for so many people to travel around the Vickerstown area. After my time at Birmingham was ended, once I was replaced by electric trams. Then, when you lot came, people began to take you around the area, and I was left with no passengers at all, to the point where the Sodor Tramway Company closed down, and I had to be saved by the good grace of the museum. That's why. Well, that was really stupid of you, Flora, replied the manager crossly. Not only have you put yourself and Bertie in danger of damage, but you endangered the safety of our passengers. This is absolutely disgraceful coming from you. I will not tolerate this behavior at all. Go to your shed, and you can stay there for the rest of the day and think about what you have done. So, Flora did. Topham, who was previously known as Replica Glynn, took over her trains for the rest of the day.
Serves her
Flora
right.
stayed in the shed, brooding to herself. Jim, the narrow gauge engine, saw the whole thing, and he understood what Flora had gone through. He puffed up towards her. Hello, Flora. Oh, hello, Jim, sighed Flora sadly. I know why you're in your shed. You were about to crash into Bertie on purpose. I know, replied Flora crossly. It's just that I was so cross after what had happened to me when his kind took away all of my passengers, and I wanted to get my revenge. I understand what it's like for someone to come in and take away something that was once yours. That happened to me with the Northwestern Railway. I called the standard gauge engines monsters, thinking that they had taken our passengers away and caused our line to close down. But I was wrong. After I had my accident at Province Gate, Edward saved me, and I began to rethink my words about them. I shouldn't have held a grudge for so long, since they were so kind, and it wasn't their fault that my line was closed. The world was changing then, and with that, ideas and behaviors change as well. It's the same with road vehicles, and while I understand your resentment, Flora, they do help us all out as well. And Jim puffed away. Later, the manager came to see Flora. Please, sir, I'm sorry for being rude today. And you should be, replied the manager. It's good to see that you are sorry, Flora, but your actions today had given us a bad reputation with our visitors, as well as the Railway Society. I know, sir, and once again I am truly sorry, sir. I won't ever do something stupid like that again, sir. That's a good engine. However, I want you to see how useful road vehicles can be to the railway. I'm sending you to Kelsthorpe Road. They have a bus stop close to the station, and you can see it from the yards there. Consider this a learning experience for you. Yes, sir, replied Flora. So Alice coupled up to her, and she was taken to Kelsthorpe Road.
Okay, the point?
There she saw cars and buses coming and going with passengers who needed to go to and from the station. Then Bertie came by with the Railway Society. They were not pleased to see her after what had happened. Flora apologized to Bertie and the members sincerely and promised that it would never happen again. Bertie and the society members were pleased and hoped she would deliver on her promise next time they saw her. Flora now understood Jim's words, and she could see the usefulness that road vehicles bring to the railways.
Well, that was definitely interesting. Anyways, guys, I'll see you all in the next video, and my next... Ignore my dad. I just realized my next video will be on Friday when I get back from Vancouver. So, but I definitely will share my videos of my trip on Vancouver on here as I make them on TikTok. If you follow me on TikTok, yeah, you'll see them on TikTok. If you don't, my username is Hannah's Grace. So, yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Adios, everybody.